Growing up as a hockey fan, there were a lot of goalies who really inspired me to want to watch the game, play the game, and now make content about it. And some of these names will stick with me for the rest of my life. Carey Price, Tuukka Rask, Jonathan Quick, and one of them that stands above all else, Henrik Lundqvist. Now, for those of you who don't know, Lundqvist was finally inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I feel like this is a full circle moment for me. One of my favorite players growing up, getting the recognition that he deserves, and it's such a beautiful thing. Now, Lundqvist may have not ever won a championship, but Lundqvist single-handedly carried the Rangers through multiple seasons, even when they had rosters that had no business being in the playoffs. I'll never forget the one year where he brought them to the Stanley Cup finals, and him and Jonathan Quick were just exchanging save after save after save. It was such a fun time to be a hockey fan, and even if you weren't a Rangers fan, you had to love the King. Now, the reason I'm talking about this today is because after he was inducted into the Hall, there were a lot of people on social media in the comments, especially on like Instagram comments, saying that Lundqvist should not be inducted into the Hall because he never won a championship. And this absolutely blew my mind. I mean, as a guy who watched so many fantastic goaltenders growing up, Lundqvist was single-handedly one of the best goaltenders I've ever seen play the game. And to see people just minimize his accomplishments, saying that he is not worth being in the Hall because he never won a championship, is just crazy. And it goes back to what we were talking about with championship culture and how it shapes how people see players and all of the hard work that they put into their sport. Henrik Lundqvist may not have won a championship, but if you watched Rangers hockey for the time that he was at that organization, you would know that he single-handedly made that team competitive year after year, stealing games, playoff series, and anything he could do. And to see that some people don't recognize him for his accomplishments just feels a little bit embarrassing. Like, if you watch the sport of hockey, you should know the name the King. And I feel like this is just the perfect full circle moment for this guy. He deserves it above all else. And I know there are a bunch of great nominees in there as well, but I just felt like he was a shoo-in for the way that he influenced the game, the way he's still impacting the game, and the way that he inspired so many kids growing up to want to play the goalie position. But I want to know what people think about this topic. Do you think Henrik Lundqvist should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, or is this sort of one of those things where if you don't win a championship, you shouldn't be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame? But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, like the video, and subscribe. I absolutely love this. I usually don't give my personal opinions, but the King was my favorite player growing up at the goaltender position, and I just absolutely love this for him. Congrats to Hank, and I'll see you guys in the next one.